Hello friend, this is Umang Sharma. In this video, I'm going to explain my experiment number 3, that is delegates and the event. So before starting this experiment, I will tell you what is the delegates. So what in this experiment we need to use delegates and the event. Delegates we need to create for trigger the events, and what in this I am using all these concepts. So what we need to declare our delegates, instance invoking and the delegates, and we need to do return type, and we need to use parameter convenience variable, and we need to declare event, binding trigger and the handling that either, and lambda expression and anonymous method. And this is the program that in second experiment also we did, that is complex number. Only we need to add some more feature, and we need to use by using delegates. So we need to write a console application C# by using the concept of delegates and the event for performing basic operation on complex number. Strictly follow the instruction, that is we need to create complex number, and we need to add integration data member to the class to represent real and the imaginary, and we need to add required constructor, add function to the add, and construct subtract to complex number, and override the string function to print complex number and a plus ib format, because we know the string is in a plus ib form. A represent real part and b represent imaginary part, and we need to create a class, we need to add the method, and we need to demonstrate menu for add complex number, subtract complex number, array of delegates, multicast delegates, and anonymous method to add them to a complex number object, and lambda expression to subtract 5 from the complex number object. So now I'll open my experiment. The second experiment is already running. This is the experiment, and what first I created my display as an interface, and I am using that function as a display. And here I am declaring my delegate, that is a public delegates void. Return type is void, and this is the delegate. Here we can see the parameter is nothing, and I created the class is a complex number, and I am inheriting disciple, and this method we need to override. And what here we have real number images if constructor will call, because that time no parameter has been passed, so both value I assign as a 0. When value is assigned, I am assigning that value to real part. If both assigning, then real and both imaginary part I am assigning. If that value is given as a x, so x dot real and imaginary part both are assigning to my both the variable. When I am calling disable method, so disable means we need to display. So if both are 0, I am using R0 method. I will explain you after what say that if imaginary number is greater than 0, so that imaginary part imagine that variable and I. Otherwise, what I am doing, real plus imaginary part plus I. So both is for displaying only. So after that, what I am using constructor, that is operator overloading. That in second experiment I already told, here both the object has been passed, and objector we are using, that is plus operator I am using. So this is the new object I created, 7.real, and real part I am adding for the real part of TC, and for imaginary part I am using for adding both the imaginary part, I am returning that object. It is for constructor plus uh, subtraction equal. If both imaginary part and real part is equal, that time I am returning true, otherwise I am returning as a false. If it is not equal, or if both is not equal, it is true, otherwise I am sending as a true. And this is the override method, that is a string to string I am passing. If imagine number is greater than 0, it means it is a positive. I am returning both the value. Again, I am returning both value. It is for the uh, displaying that is into a string. So what after that, it is a swapping. Swapping means first that imaginary number and then after the real dot I for swapping. It is the value what I am real value I am multiplying and adding with imaginary of 2 over. This is the method for printing my console purpose multicast, and here I am creating that method. I am printing as a love, and for just play is this is the point of origin, and you can see this is the my delegates. Here I am declaring my void delegates int a. For declaring a second delegate, I am pay for array of delegates, and this is multicast delegate. Now my method has main method has been start. So in what first I am declaring my all the required variable and two object I created for complex number. And first complex number, that value I am assigning, I am calling cm1, that I am creating object, I am passing both the value. And then for the event handler I am using c1 dot argument. For that method is calculating, and this new event handler I am passing this method, and for disable I am using when this object will be called, then after that this object will be print on the then second time I am taking second value, I am assigning again, and I am calling again for just for printing, and after printing it will print my object. This is the here it is actually grown. Just for printing, this is the origin point, it will print after that. And it is for the creating for array of delegates. So we need to write that array of delegates, then array of delegate that value. The c1 dot swap, c1 dot value, c1 dot swap, c1 dot. So this value has been putting into array of delegates, and we need to call this method. This is for multicasting delegate. I created that object c1 dot swap, and cmd is assigning that value. And this method is for add subtract I am creating here, and whenever I am typing that value, I am parting, I am calling that case, I am adding that object. This method will trigger, it will operator overloading will be done, and that it will return my object, and this I am taking in my cm object, I am displaying that value. And for printing array of delegates length, up to length I am checking, and I am printing that all the array of delegates value. And this is fifth one for multicasting. I am directly calling that method, and I am creating here this object for it will what it will do, it will add the same one and the param, and it will print into it will convert that value as an integer, and we can see here date and it will pass. And this is if both every case is not passing, it is goes for the default case. Now I'll show you the output. It is asking me first, second, what you can see here, it is for first for the adding, it is add complex number. After after subtraction, because we can see that first number is very greater, so it is greater, and then that is for array of delegates. We can see array of delegate, that value is coming. The multicast, it is calling my multicast method, and after that is my anonymous, and this is for this. I hope you understand this experiment. Thank you.